You either get busy living or get busy dying.
Yo, it's time for another riveting rendition of Mike's Sad Sack Corner. Just thought I'd share with you guys today. I did some contract work last week, just kind of putting some pieces in place and thought it was a good thing. And so I had to leave the RV parked because we had so much ice. I wasn't, okay with trying to bring the slides in with, an inch, 2 inches of ice over the top of it. So ended up staying away from the RV for about a week. I do have a tendency to have some pretty bad luck happen to me. And I just thought I would share the excitement with you guys. So, one thing that's not great is, when you've got all this snow and it starts to melt, plugs do, if you gotta have a plug, you should have it wrapped, you should have it elevated, you should have something to keep it off the ground and keep water from getting into it for moisture. Obviously, electricity and moisture are not always a good thing. And I will highlight this now. This, combined with this, used to be a plug that functioned. But due to unforeseen and mysterious circumstances, the way that I had these protected from the elements no longer did elemental protection. It looks like that maybe something had hooked it, dragged it off of the protection that I had on it and wrapped, and drug it into the snow, and then everything started to melt, and water got in there, and it melted it down to nothing. And then another sweet universal excitement that takes place is that my breaker that I had recently had installed, 50 amps, brand new, just decided to not shut off. So, not ideal. Lucky that nothing caught on fire. Lucky that there wasn't more damage done. The sweet part of this was that it was during the cold apocalypse that we had here last week, and it was going to be like, 14 degrees outside, which is not awesome. And so no heat in my RV, did not have it winterized, had water all up in there. So I had to drive 3 hours back from where I was working to feverishly try to find my problem and wire my cords together so I could have power back in my RV. And I caught it. I'm going to call it just in time. Nothing managed to freeze and burst in the RV. However, R.I.P. Keurig. Bad Johnson has been with me a long time, but it didn't deserve to go like that. When I got here, it was 32 degrees inside. And, 32 degrees is enough for stuff to freeze. So, the water was just like, trying. So, anyway, I managed to get it all back together, put the wires back together, got heat in my RV, and then drove the 3 hours home. Should this have been a better time of year, that probably wouldn't have been a thing. Also, I'm sure I will have people tell me, you should have drove south. Yes, I should have. But I wasn't ready for that yet on the journey, so still working through some stuff. So, because I am a person that tries to learn from my mistakes and learn some lessons, I've decided that I'm going to invest in, Gabam, one of these units. So this is a very exciting time, and maybe I'll do a video here in a minute of me unboxing this Bad Johnson. But this is a Bluetti Solar Generator combined with solar panels. I had found a pretty slick deal on Amazon where you could buy them all as a kit, and I got like 40% off. So gonna go ahead and invest in that. So I might shoot some videos of me unboxing that and putting it underneath in the RV. So anyway, just thought I would share some sad sack stories with you guys. Hopefully you're doing better than I am, because now I have lots of work to do. Peace. Hey! Didn't see you there. Actually, I did. That's a lie. I definitely saw you there. I'm recording this. No, wanted to continue my story of the power and how I had it and then I didn't have it and all the things. Anyway, thought give you guys a little bit of an info on maybe how RV systems work. So I was obviously talking about the plug and how it burned to nothing. Like, it was like an infant trying to vape. It was just a big nasty mess of nothing. It was not awesome. Okay? So, here's some info. I also had another problem where my system just decided to flake out. Not cool. So, here we go. Really fast. My system has a standard breaker panel, which would be very similar to maybe what's in your house. There's a 50 amp that feeds it. So when there's a 50 amp plug outside, like I talked about, this is where that comes. So the 50 amp runs into here, and then it breaks it off with all these different breakers here that are all doing different things. Now, one thing that most people may or may not be familiar with is the fact that a lot of these systems are going to have an inverter and or charger system. So what the inverter is going to do is pull battery power, 12 volts, DC, into AC power, which is kind of what you see here. So like thinking about this right here, this is a charger inverter system. So mine, I don't know. We're going to call it bougie. I'm not really sure it's bougie. It definitely didn't do bougie stuff the other day when it completely had a freak out on me. The way this one works is it is taking that 50 amp power, it's bringing it over. This 30 amp breaker right here is then going down to my inverter. This is down, that's the direction, in the underbelly, which maybe I'll do a video here in a minute in the underbellies. Feeding that inverter is also charging my batteries, so it keeps my 12 volt system up. So the way they ran this is they ran this down, and then they ran it through the inverter and back into this panel, which feeds about half of the RV. So these things are like my bedroom lights and heaters and different things that I was running. So microwave, kitchen, they're calling it TV, bedroom, blah, blah, blah. So when the inverter went down, means I had no DC charging capability and I had no power on any of these breakers. So that was less than ideal. So anyway, there is your life lesson for today on how AC power works in an RV versus DC power in an RV. Not all of them are going to be exactly the same, but I'm probably pretty close, right? You're going to have something that's going to charge up the battery, and then a lot of times they're going to have some mechanism or some way to let you run 110 power. So light systems have come a long way in recent years, which is why I talked about that Bluetti system, which is kind of going to do the same thing. It's actually going to charge up. It's a battery system, so it has its battery pack. It's an AC300s kit that I had purchased. So I'll probably put a link in the description below for the Amazon if you're interested in that kind of thing. It can be used as like a battery backup for a house. It can be used as like a UPS if you're interested in that kind of thing. That's not United Parcel Service. That's actually uninterrupted power source. So learn some more knowledge on it. Drop that bomb. So check out the description below for maybe what that would look like. And then also give you guys a little bit more of a update. I'm going to be doing the unboxing video. I'm probably going to make it separate. You're welcome. Hello, kids. I am in the belly of the beast. Like, literally and figuratively. Because I guess I don't know. Call it the basement. I don't know. Whatever. Thought I would give you guys a little bit of a cool, like, inside of my belly, which is kind of gross sounding if I actually think about that out loud. Whatever. So, I'm underneath. And I thought I would show you guys this Bluetti that I talked about. Kabam! So I installed that basically underneath here. So I've got my inverter that I talked about, right? Inverter, some of the electrical system, things like that. That's a very bright light that I'm sure you love. But the idea would be, is this combined with this battery pack would trickle charge while I am on shore power or the generator, or even just, I've got it, you can wire it up to charge from 12 volt systems, or you can wire it up to charge from 110 volt systems. So we're just gonna talk about it. Okay, very cool. Now that we're all nice and comfy and stuff. So it's gonna basically charge when I'm on power, and then the idea would be is when I'm not on power somewhere, if I am boondocking or like, hey, this one just doesn't have it, the idea would be I have rigged up a pretty nifty, a nifty 30 amp plug, because that is what is supported on the front of my unit. And then I will show you what the other side of that plug looks like here in a second. The idea would be I would plug it in, because that's what we do. We're gonna do it like this. And then I'm gonna plug in my other power cord to it, just like I would shore power. And it should run almost everything in here, because it is gonna be a 110 30 amp plug, the same way as you would have shore power. So depending on how much stuff I run inside would be how long it's gonna last. So it's gonna have I think it's 6,000 kilowatt hours of power storage. So, face puppets. Anyway, stay tuned. shiz in all of her expensive beauty. Gosh, as I have to back it out of here because it's like up in here and stuff. Yes. Okay, cool. Guys, this is what we're gonna do. So, I've got this open because this is my switchgear. This switchgear allows you to basically switch between shore power and or generator power. So it does it automatically for you. A lot of these RVs have that. The Bluetti unit is gonna use these solar panels, which I'm gonna store in here niftily, that I can charge when I'm on the road somewhere and I don't have power system to be able to charge. I don't wanna run my generator. This is what I'm gonna work up for the Bluetti to be able to plug in. So I've made up this cord, which actually is rated for 50 amps, only gonna be 30. So this is a 50 amp plug, right? You notice it's got a 110 leg, another 110 leg, the neutral, and the ground. So a 30 amp is not gonna have but one 110 leg, a neutral, and a ground. So it is a 3. So in here, what we do, that's how most RV plugs are made, is you're actually gonna bridge the 110s, which in theory, electrically, I don't know, it doesn't seem like it's a good idea, but that is how all RV plugs do it when you adapt from 50 amp, which is 220, to a 30 amp, which is 110. Exciting times. Anyway. And don't worry, I did get a new Keurig, because the old one, RIP.